All right, man, peace. You know what, brothers? Errol Spence's little victory tour in the aftermath of his dominating performance against Mikey Garcia last Saturday night is starting to remind me of the film Kill Bill, starring Uma Thurman, where basically the premise of the film was that she was left for dead, she was taken advantage of, and once she rose from the grave, she was able to conquer those who had looked down upon her. It seems as if Errol Spence now is taking great glee in being able to confront many of the boxers who were not willing to give him a chance when he was on the come-up. Well, his latest expose of a particular rival who he feels did him wrong when he challenged him to a boxing match is Shawn Porter. Errol the Truth Spence made an appearance on the PBC show featuring Shawn Porter as well as Abner Mares and Kate Abdo as the host. And he told Shawn Porter to his face that he wants to fight him. And Shawn Porter now understands that if he were to duck Errol Spence, assuming that Errol is unable to make the fight with Manny Pacquiao, let's say that those negotiations fall through and Errol Spence calls out Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is going to look like a complete ducker and a coward if he does not fight Errol Spence this summer. I think that Shawn Porter himself believes that Errol Spence is going to beat him, and he's pretty much just been trying to enjoy his belt. Kind of like a dude who just got married. He wants to enjoy his wife for at least a year before somebody bothers him or harasses him. That's Shawn Porter, but he knows that his day of reckoning is coming. So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
Yeah, and we did that for you, Errol. Thank you very much, Manny. Welcome back to Inside BBC Boxing. A big welcome to the still undefeated IBF welterweight champ, Errol Spence Jr. Good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Does it feel different? Life is good as a pay-per-view undefeated star?
I'm definitely happy with the outcome that happened in Dallas, just fighting in my hometown, and 47,000 plus. I mean, that was great.
How about that switch though from the weigh-in, because there were so many Mikey fans at the weigh-in, right? And then the switch to fight night, you've got 48,000 people there, and everyone's enjoying your performance.
Yep.
Well, that's normally what happens when a fighter puts on a dazzling performance. He takes the fans of his opponent. That's why I stated Errol Spence needs to follow the Floyd Mayweather business plan. That being, of course, fight the best, but when you can, make sure that you fight the top Mexican or Hispanic fighters so that you can take their fan base and globalize yourself. Errol Spence did himself a great service when he went to Britain and defeated Kell Brook, because I promise you that there were many people over there in Europe who never heard of him, who knew that he was a top prospect but did not respect him. And once they saw how he was able to defeat their champion Kell Brook, they became Errol Spence fans. In addition to that, when you take into account how Errol carries himself, it's going to be very easy for him to accumulate fans because he fights in a very fan-pleasing style. And on top of that, when he speaks in a very low tone. He's not confrontational, so people are going to view him as a classy fighter.
The fight night they were cheering for when I came out, I expected some boos, and the wins had me a little bit irritated. I was really irritated about them booing me, so I had a big chip on my shoulder, and that kind of got under my skin, and normally, a lot of stuff don't get under my skin.
But you were like, nah, he's cool.
Yeah, but when they booed me at the weigh-ins, that kind of, I didn't even want to do interviews after that. It was like, you got to do interviews. I was like, I'm not doing no interviews. I'm about to go eat, rest up, then get ready for this fight.
What did you make of, okay, so Mikey Garcia obviously coming up 2 weight classes, but he was undefeated. Where do you think that this fight puts you now? What does it do for your reputation, your career? How does it change how you're seen?
How it changes is that now Errol Spence has entered into the national consciousness as a star athlete. Many people who may not have known who he was before now know who he is. He's now a presence on pay-per-view. So now he can start making demands as the A-side. That was a very pivotal fight for him. I liken it to Floyd Mayweather's performance against Arturo Gatti. From there, I believe Floyd only fought once more on regular television. I believe his next fight he fought against Shambe Mitchell was on regular cable. And from then on, every fight that he fought was on pay-per-view. So Errol Spence is looking at that same dynamic, because I believe that whether he fights Manny Pacquiao or Shawn Porter, the fight is going to be on pay-per-view.
I think it changed how it's seen, just fighting-wise, because boxing-wise, and just me using my skills and my talent and my ability, because a lot of times everybody was saying I was physically strong, or I was going to bully him and just use just my strength, and I'm just a fighter that just has brute strength. And I showed that I have a jab, a 1-2. My boxing IQ is high, and I have a lot of different things that I bring to the table except just pure brute strength.
You also show very good head movement, great footwork, and excellent counterpunching.
I agree with that 100%. And then I'm sure I know the answer is, does it bother you at all that you didn't knock him out?
Oh, a little bit.
It does? Okay, then
It should. That's a good answer. Because Errol's fans want to hear that he's bothered that he was unable to get the knockout against a smaller fighter. People want to believe that every time that they watch an Errol Spence fight that he's going to go for the knockout. That's how he builds up his fan base.
I'm surprised why.
It bothered me a little bit, but just the way that I beat him helped me out a lot because a lot of people didn't expect me to beat him that way. They just expected me just to come forward and just bully him and just overpower him, and I beat him more just in a systematic way and just broke him down.
Errol Spence needs to be honest and just admit that he purposefully did not go for the knockout. He needs to just admit that he backed off whenever he saw that Mikey Garcia could have been stopped because he wanted to prove that he could outbox him over 12 rounds. It's very obvious that that is what went on in that fight because he did appear to carry Mikey Garcia in certain pivotal moments in the bout.
Now, you know that there's a such thing called looking too good.
Yeah.
Do you think you look too good for Manny Pacquiao to fight you?
Yes, but I think that Errol Spence looked too good even before that. Manny Pacquiao did not come to the PBC to fight no damn Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao came to fight Floyd. And if he can't get Floyd, he's going to fight Keith Thurman next. I'd be very surprised if Manny Pacquiao says okay to an Errol Spence fight. It's just not worth it for Manny Pacquiao. He's 40 years old. He need to take his ass back to Manila and be a family man. He don't need to be in the ring with no damn Errol Spence. But hopefully Errol gets that fight because I would love to see Errol be able to take his financial portfolio up to the next level, whooping Manny Pacquiao ass.
I don't think so, man. Manny Pacquiao's a guy, with a lot of heart, and he's a guy. I never known him to duck anybody. I mean, he's been in some tough fights, been in some great fights. So, just knowing the fighter that Manny Pacquiao is, I think he will take the fight.
Errol, so now where do you stand in the pound for pound in this? Where do you put yourself?
Errol's definitely top 10, no doubt top 10, maybe top 5. And I say top 10 or top 5 only because he still has a lot more to accomplish, and I think that he understands that. I can't put him number 1 because he has not become champion in multiple weight classes. There are fighters who have done that, like Canelo Alvarez, like Terrence Crawford. These are fighters that I have to place above him, Vasily Lomachenko, because of what they've accomplished over the course of multiple weight classes. But do I think that their skill set is necessarily better than Errol's? No, not quite. But once again, Errol showed me some wrinkles that I've never seen from him for the first time in his last fight. So he's showing me that his potential is probably higher than any of those fighters.
I put myself top 5. I got the cruiserweight undisputed guy. I got him up there. And, I have Terrence Crawford up there. And I have Canelo up there, too.
Nice.
Once again, that's an answer that will endear Errol Spence to many boxing fans, no matter the nationality or their origin. For him to sit on TV and say that he places himself in the top 5 and not give the predictable answer of I place myself number 1 will make people take him more seriously when he answers these type of questions.
Where do you guys put him? Because I think I heard from a previous conversation you put him top 1. You put him first place, right?
I put you in, we were talking about your performance, and you just look phenomenal, Bill. And I love the way how you said it, and you just didn't bully him. You beat him with pure talent. And I'm gonna ask you, so you're upset I'm not getting him, not getting the knockout. So does that mean you were looking for a knockout? You were trying to knock him out? Because honestly, I felt like there were some rounds that you took off. Yeah.
Abner Maris, speak it. Speak what you saw. You saw the same shit that I saw. You believe that Errol Spence carried that man to punish him.
Yeah. Were you just playing with him? Yeah. But were you looking for the knockout?
I really wasn't looking for the knockout.
Okay, good. So then say that. Don't say that you was looking for the knockout or that you upset that you didn't knock him out when it's very obvious that you carried the man.
It wasn't our game plan, but after I watched the fight, I was like, I think I could have, went for the knockout a little bit more.
I asked the room now, I said, did we see?
The game plan was y'all was going to punish him for 12 rounds. That was the game plan by you, Errol Spence, as well as your trainer, Derek James. The game plan was we're going to take this dude in deep water, and then we're going to bring him back to shallow water, and then drag his ass back out to deep water again, and then bring him back to shallow water, make him think that we're going to bring him to shore, and we're going to drag his ass back out every time he think he's safe. That was the plan. The plan was never to knock him out. The plan was to punish him for 12 rounds.
be some mercy from Errol Spence near the end of this fight, and I wasn't quite sure. You know, and you know how it is once you now you know going 12 rounds. Once you get to that point and you know you won the fight, there's really no reason to put your foot on the gas pedal if you don't see those moments or those opportunities. But was that kind of the thing? You just didn't really see the moment or the opportunity?
No,
or was he just good enough to survive?
Yeah, I mean, he was good at surviving because, I mean, he's 39-0, so he has a lot of experience.
Right.
You know, he just sparred guys like Edwin Valero and, you know, a lot of top guys even growing up. So
Edwin Valero, you know, interestingly enough, Errol Spence says that he does not know Manny Pacquiao to duck anyone. There are quite a few fighters that Manny Pacquiao has ducked. It's just that the media does not concentrate on Manny Pacquiao and the fighters that he didn't fight, like how they concentrate on the fighters who Floyd Mayweather supposedly ducked or did not fight. But Edwin Valero was a fighter that Manny Pacquiao was supposed to fight, and he never fought him. There are other fighters that Manny Pacquiao was supposed to fight that he didn't fight. And I don't begrudge him that, because fighters make business decisions. Just because you don't fight someone does not mean that you're scared of them. It just means that your eye is on a bigger prize. Shane Mosley was offered to fight Floyd Mayweather back in 1999. And he rejected the fight because he wanted to fight De La Hoya, because he knew that De La Hoya was the cash cow.
So, I mean, he knows how to, you know, basically, you know, block punches and roll with punches and, you know, absorb punches. So, and he knew that it was coming. But with me, our whole game plan was basically just to, you know, let my skills be shown and show the world that I do have a high boxing IQ. And I can box, and I do have that ability just to outsmart somebody instead of just using brute strength. So I think just my whole mentality throughout the whole fight just basically, you know, had me kind of coast through, even though I did throw 1,000 punches. But it was more just to outpoint him and show people that, you know, I'm not going to just beat him how you think I'm going to beat him with your brute strength.
Just the fact that Errol threw so many punches shows you that his conditioning base was extreme for that fight. It was at a very high level.
I'm going to beat him a different way.
Have you and Derek watched the fight back? Is there anything that he's fed back to you that he would have liked to have seen you do differently?
No.
Of course not, because once again, Derek James wanted you to punish him over 12 rounds.
I haven't really talked to Derek since the fight.
Okay.
So we've been together for like...
You and Derek good?
Nah, they just need some time off.
We've been together for like 8-9 weeks.
Yeah.
I've been making weight, and I'm hearing this dude telling me what I'm doing wrong all the time and sparring and training. I'm like, I'm going to call you in like a week or two.
You blessed, man. I don't get that. You blessed.
Well, Shawn, we know that you don't get that. You still live in your father's basement.
So, are you prepared for the media that comes for, you know...
Shawn Porter showing up to the damn fight looking like a gay leprechaun pimp. I mean, what's going on with that brother, man? Man's outfit was ridiculous.
You know, after being a pay-per-view star, are you ready for this?
Because you look kind of irritated with it, like you said at the weigh-in. That kind of, it began to drag a little bit that week, right?
Yeah, I was irritated because I'm not a guy that, you know, does a lot of interviews and, you know, that jumps up for interviews. So, you know, a lot of times they have to chase me down and do interviews. Like they be like, man, why Errol's not answering the phone? They calling him.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that,
we were one of them.
We were supposed to do a show here with you on it last week, and you went MIA.
Because he's one of those fighters that goes 0 dark 30. He's like Marvin Hagler.
I go MIA, so you know, I just, you know, I gotta learn it just comes with the territory, and if I want to be, you know, that guy in the face of boxing, then, you know, I got obligations, and my obligations are doing interviews and traveling to different places, and, you know, and being there and being seen, and, you know, if I want to be the face of boxing. So, you know, I just got to realize that and just, you know, got to put some things to the side, but still, you know, I still need my peace of mind a little bit and, you know, disappear for a second and come back.
You've got a little bit of time off right now, so you can enjoy your peace of mind. What are your plans?
You know, chill with my family. I want to take my kids and my mother to maybe Jamaica or Hawaii, and then I'm gonna take my dad and some friends. We're gonna go to Africa, and
So
you know, I'm just traveling.
Out there, right?
Yeah, going to some gyms. I think Ghana,
cool.
And you know, hopefully I'm with Everlast, so you know, hopefully if they need gloves or, you know, anything like that, you know, Everlast is gonna fund that, and, you know, we're gonna bring that to them. So
So good you're doing that.
Cool opportunity to get back on.
Can I ask another question? All right, maybe it's like...
I'm not the boss here, Shawn.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
cool. So the question I hate being asked the most after a fight is what's next? I'm about to ask you that.
Shawn Porter, you need to stop playing. You already know what's next. What's next is that Errol going to straighten that front row of teeth of yours. He going to have you looking like you had braces, right? He going to straighten all that shit out for you.
What do you think is next? I mean, we heard on live what you want, but date-wise and obviously who-wise, what are you thinking about?
For me, I want to be busy. I feel like I haven't been as busy. So I would like to come back in July, August. If I take too much time off, I'm just going to blow up. I'm going to get big. It's going to take a lot more time to lose the weight. So
What that really means is that Errol Spence wants to resolve these welterweight issues within the next year or so. By the middle of 2020, late 2020, I think Errol wants to be fighting his last fight at welterweight so that he can move up.
I like to eat. I love to eat.
I think the question Shawn is trying to ask, who do you want to fight next? And would it be him?
Like I said,
we didn't come up here for the drama.
There's no drama.
You know damn well you don't want none of that from Errol Spence, Shawn Porter. Stop playing. That man is the boogeyman. Like I stated, after you won that fight against Danny Garcia, Errol Spence stepped in the ring, and you look like you saw a ghost. I've never seen Shawn Porter look as fearful of another man as he looked of Errol Spence.
If I don't get that Manny Pacquiao fight, I would definitely take the fight with Shawn Porter. I mean, that's the fight I've been wanting. I mean, Keith Thurman said he's not going to fight me in 2020.
Yo, every time Errol said that shit, it made me crack up. Keith Thurman saying he ain't going to fight me until 2020. Might be 2030. Who knows?
Yeah. Here go a guy that said, he wants to fight me. So definitely, if I can't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, which I won't, just for legacy-wise, he's on his way out. That's a huge pay-per-view fight. It's a possibility we could fight in Dallas, at the Cowboy Stadium, which he already sold out and did better numbers than me. So, just
put you two together and
and it'll be huge. But if I can't get that fight, I definitely love to fight Shawn Porter and take that belt.
I know you.
That would be an even better fight than Errol against Manny Pacquiao. It probably won't be as splendiferous, but it'll be a better combat. I'll tell you that, than Manny Pacquiao. I could see Errol stopping Manny Pacquiao by the 5th round. I really could, because Manny has tricky defense, but it's not particularly good defense. You never really see Manny after a fight all bruised and battered and eyes cut. I mean, there have been fights like that, like the Morales fight, a couple of the fights against Marquez. But for the most part, Manny's face is clean by the end of the fight. Against Errol Spence, he's going to get put to sleep, bottom line. And I think that Shawn Porter might get knocked down a few times against Errol Spence as well. But Shawn Porter's that type of dude. He's going to go on a kamikaze mission once he sees that he can't outbox him. And that's going to happen relatively early in the fight. Once Shawn Porter takes that jab and that straight left around rounds 1 or 2, he's going to go back to the corner. He's going to say, Dad, we're going to have to go all out right now, because I'm not going to be able to take this shit for 12 rounds. He's not going easy on me like he went against Mikey Garcia.
You ain't heard I'll fight him since you was about 1-0. Ain't nobody say, I'll fight him since you was 1-0.
Yeah, how long did you wait for that Manny Pacquiao fight to happen, though, before you turned to Shawn?
I'm not going to wait that long, because, like I said, I want to come back in July, August. He just had a fight, too, so, I think it makes sense. We'll fight in August.
Yes. You training Shawn?
Yes,
Of course, Shawn Porter's training already. That man want to have a 4-month training camp for Errol Spence. That nigga come in the ring looking like Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV, with muscles on top of muscles. Still gets sparked by round 3.
Yeah.
Listen, on the post-fight show, you very kindly came on after you won the fight.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. We'll see how things turn out for Errol Spence's next fight. Either way, I do think that the brother's going to be able to accomplish all of his missions at welterweight, hopefully culminating in a super bout against Terrence Crawford sometime late next year. But anyway, peace.